Hi everyone. So this week and next week we're talking about solving rational equations. And next week we're going to be talking about some more complicated rational equations. So in order to prepare to do so, I want to do a quick review on adding and subtracting fractions. So for example, the first problem I'm going to make pretty easy, hopefully. So if I have 1/4 plus 1/4, I want to figure out what that is combined. So if you picture kind of a pizza here, so I have the first 1/4 of the pizza, the second 1/4 of the pizza. So all together I have 2/4 or 1/2 of the pizza shaded in. So with fractions, as long as my denominators are the same, you can go ahead and just add the numerators. So for example, 1 plus 1 is 2, and then that denominator remains 4. But what happens when the denominators are not the same? So I'm going to do a few examples where that's the case. So my first one, I'm going to go ahead and do, let's do 2/3 plus 1/6. Now, we want to focus on making those denominators the same, ideally by doing as little work as possible. So for example, when I'm thinking about this, I think, okay, well, 3 times 2, I get 6. So I'm going to multiply that first fraction, both numerator and denominator, by 2. So 2/2. And when we multiply fractions, we multiply numerator with numerator, denominator with denominator. Oops, sorry. So I end up with 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 3 is 6, so 4/6 plus 1/6. Now that those denominators are the same, I can add the numerators. So 4 plus 1, I get 5/6, and my denominator remains the same. Let's do another one. So let's do 3/5 plus 1/4. So again, I want to try and make those denominators the same by doing as little work as possible. Well, now, unfortunately, 5 and 4 do not have any common multiples. So when I say common multiples, I could list them out if I wanted to. So for example, for 5, if I just keep repeatedly adding 5, I start with 5 plus 10, 15, 20, 25, and it keeps going. And for 4, I have 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, and again it keeps going. Well, notice they both have 20 in common. So in order to make my denominators both 20, on the left-hand side, I'm going to multiply by 4/4. On the right side, I multiply by 5/5. The reason we multiply both numerator and denominator is because 5/5 is equivalent to 1. So I'm not changing the value of this number. So then I go ahead and simplify this. So 4 times 3, I get 12/20 plus 5/20. I add those together to get 17/20. Okay, let's do one more. Let's do, how about subtraction this time? So let's go ahead and do 2/7 minus, how about 1/3. There we go. So again, we need common denominators. 7 and 3 are both prime numbers, so they do not have any common factors here. So I'm going to go ahead and multiply 2/7 by 3/3 and 1/3 by 7/7. So 3 times 2, I get 6/3 times 7 is 21, minus 1 times 7 is 7, 3 times 7 again is 21. Now that those denominators are the same, I can go ahead and add or subtract the numerators. So 6 minus 7 is negative 1/21. After watching this video, there is a Canvas quiz with adding and subtracting fractions. Bye!